And Briana from Briana K is here.
Hi.
We're on all of our channels, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere. And yeah, if everyone thinks that I'm going absolutely mad, I have already been live today with my lovely friend Veronica. And then I was speaking to Briana and she was like, should we go live as well? And I was like, yeah, let's go live.
We should.
So, yeah, we're here. Double your money from me today. With Wriggly Pippin. Oh gosh.
I just really wanted to see the puppy.
He's 12 weeks today.
That's
and he's
so cute.
Massive and really heavy now.
He's about the same age as my nephew. That's so fun.
Oh my gosh, that's gone quickly, hasn't it?
Really quickly. I cannot. She just posted his like 3-month photo, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh,
how?
That's so cute.
That's
cute. Oh,
so fun.
Yeah, come on in, say hi, tell us.
Oh, that's my sister.
I thought that as soon as the name came up, that's a cute dog. Thanks.
Not the one with the baby. She also has a dog that is my dog's Ollie's brother, half brother.
Oh,
so
our
dogs are like related, and they look like twins.
Oh, that's so nice.
And they're so cute when they play together.
My sister-in-law randomly was on a walk somewhere not near their home, and they ran into a sibling of their dog. And it was just because they said they looked so similar. Oh gosh, yours is so. Oh, where did you get yours from? And they found that they were siblings.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
I know.
Oh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Julia.
And then
they love seeing us together again. I know it's been way too long. It's just been hectic. I know. I know I talk about this in emails all the time, but having like friends in the crochet world is like so amazing, because until you find someone who at least even like wants to pick up yarn, they look at you like, okay.
What happened the other day? I sent you and Michelle a picture, didn't I, of something that I'd made that I thought was the best thing ever, that I could not believe I'd worked out how to do it. I'd showed my husband the night before, and he was like, is this good? What is it?
And then you sent it to us, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
He had no idea even what it was. He was like, do you wear it on your head? And I was like, oh my goodness. So I messaged you and Michelle, and you were like, wow.
We know what it means. So yesterday I got to see Marley Bird, and we were sitting at a bar, and our bartender, she was the sweetest. Her name is Kate. So shout out to Kate, because she follows us now.
Yay.
And she's so crafty, and she was talking about all the crafts she has in her house and how she doesn't have time for it. She's also like in school and working 2 jobs. She was the sweetest ever. And her manager, I think, or someone was there like, okay, Kate, like, and even Marley was like, no, we're having a very important conversation right now.
Very important.
We are chatting about important things. Kate needs to keep chatting with us about these important things.
It must have been so good to see Marley.
I get to see her again today. I'm so excited. It's just, especially being able to see your friends in person is just like a breath of fresh air. It's just been so crazy with the school year. I feel like everyone can relate to that. Back to school time. I don't even care if you don't even have kids anymore in school. I still feel like back to school creates an environment of chaos at times. Like at the store, traffic, in your neighborhood, buses.
And also like this time of year, like, I don't know what, like over here, it's just that constant like ramping up and ramping up and ramping up to the festive season.
Yes.
And there's so much pressure. So much pressure. So much pressure.
So it's time. It's like so nice to take time. I know. It's just so nice to take time with friends and be like, oh man, that was a week.
Oh, had lots of those recently, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hello.
Facebook doesn't tell us your names, unfortunately, but hello. Working on my poncho and loving it. I'm assuming that's your amazing poncho.
Thank you. So yeah, it probably is this. This one has been so popular. I have it in front of me, but it's too warm to wear in my office. I'm actually wearing a sweater right now because I bumped down the AC, but this is the poncho. It's so fun.
I love it.
Oh, yes. I love that. Julia says, this is why I love crochet communities. They appreciate the work, the patterns, the design, the yarn. I'm the only one in my family who does yarn crafts.
Oh.
Yeah. My mom and my sister do. The one that's watching. My baby sister, I feel like she's just like, nah, you can do it for me.
I'm okay.
You're doing enough for the both of us.
So Oliver, the littlest, he wanted to learn the other day. He said, "Mummy, can you teach me to he can't really say it properly, crochet." And I was like, "Yeah, of course I can." And so I've got this little video of him standing in just a t-shirt and his pants, as we call them, so like underwear. And he just looked such a state, but oh my gosh, he looked amazing because he was just desperately trying to get, he like proper concentration tongue sticking out, trying to get the hook in and stuff.
I love that. I love that. It's so fun. So really quick, like, should we update everyone on what's the happenings this month? And then I have another topic I think we should talk about too, that we talked about, I don't know, this week, last week, I don't remember, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about it live as well, because I thought our conversation behind the scenes was so like, yeah. So Hannah, I sent out an email yesterday, but tell us, I want to like you to tell everyone because I'm so proud of you.
I don't know if I can. Your email made me cry. I can't do it.
Well, everyone knows I love color work. I adore color work, but Hannah just came out with the most amazing, like it's like there's nothing else you could pack into that. It's the most complete color work thing I've ever seen. And so I feel like anyone who wants to do it does do it because there's so much information in there. They should definitely go get it.
Wow. Shall I put
it's incredible.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, this is it. And I'll put the link in the chat as well. So I have, I would like to say on a whim. Well, it kind of was on a whim. Like I was preparing something for something else, and like, you know, we do all these crochet alongs and everything, and I've done quite a few blanket crochet alongs now where they use lots of colors. And the biggest thing that I was hearing from people is, I'm going to use your colors because I don't know how to mix colors. I don't know how to change things. I'm really scared. I get really frustrated. I spend money on yarn that I then don't bother using, you know, all those kinds of things. And I was like, what can I do? Like, I love, like you do, experimenting with colors, matching colors together and all that kind of stuff.
But it can be intimidating.
Really intimidating. And also when you think then like you're spending lots of money on yarn, like even if you buy inexpensive yarn, like choosing 6 or 7 different colors, that's then going to be quite expensive. And if you buy stuff that doesn't work or doesn't feel right, then you've not wasted that money because you'll use that yarn, but you've the time, the effort, frustration, and
it's a letdown.
Exactly. It shouldn't be like that. And I know some people have messaged me and said, I've made this thing and I absolutely hate it. The colors weren't right from the start. So I was like, right, let's go right from the very beginning, right from color theory of how we can use a color wheel to match all the colors together, what they really like, the proper technical stuff. I had to refresh myself because I was like, I think it's split content.
I feel like your course offers more than I learned in college in my color theory course.
Oh, really?
I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like this is college level information, but it's not at that intimidating thing. Like it's so user friendly, and that's because that's how you are. You take information and you make it to where it's not this complicated. It doesn't feel complicated anymore. You make it so like it's easy to understand. And I feel like every college professor that's teaching like an art course should just buy your course and just do that. I'm like, this is what we all needed to learn.
I wonder if it comes from in my days as a midwife, like interpreting medical jargon so that people can understand it is so important to break things down and not make the assumption that people understand what you're talking about. Because why should they? And we've had this conversation already today, haven't we, about stuff that we don't understand. Like, should you understand it? And it's fine. I think Pippin's got something to say. It's fine to not know, but you need to find a resource that will help you understand.
Yes.
In terms that you can understand. And kind of that. So it kind of grew from that. It was just going to be, I'm going to put him down and see what he does. It was just going to be an ebook. And then I thought I'd film some content for a summit that I took part in. And I thought, actually, that really applies too. So I'll add that in. And then I thought, I'll make it into a course. And then I was like, but what are they going to do with the information when you've learned it? So I was like, I'll make a workbook. And now the workbook.
And it's snowballed.
See how it goes.
Yes.
So now the workbook is, to my mind, the most exciting part of it because it's interactive. He's not happy. And it means that people can manipulate the images in it. You can add your own images. You can use your own yarn colors. You can match everything and anything. So it's kind of like a window into how I plan my colors and how I do my stuff. So yeah. That's it.
It's amazing. I think it's incredible. And now you need to come help me figure out new colors for my blog.
Well, this is the thing. This is my bag completely. It's so exciting.
I will be messaging you all weekend. I love that Jamie. So Jamie says, "Good morning. Taking a break from packing to watch you guys moving to Florida. Hey, welcome to hot weather and humidity.
Yeah.
But also the land of Mickey, so it's fine.
It's all good. Caroline said, I love finding the right colours for a project that feel good. Yeah.
It does feel good.
A lot of the course is like, I don't give you the answers. I really don't. Like a lot of the course is about making you think about what does it make you feel? And not just like happy or sad, like more than that. You need to, what feelings do you want to achieve? And I know people might think, oh gosh, that's a bit over the top, just for designing a crochet blanket, but it's really important, I think.
Well, when you're matching colors like that, it is really important. And I always tell people too, if you want to start on like what colors you do like, stand in the main rooms of your home and look around, because you've often already have a starting point. Yeah. And then if you want to put a blanket in that room, this is a great way to figure out, okay, here are a few colors I like. I need 6 or 7 colors for this blanket. How is this blanket going to complement this room? And then I just love it, because sometimes, and I've done this, I'm guilty of this, I'll make something based off of colors that I see another designer do. And I'm like, oh, I love those colors together. That looks great on that. But then it doesn't always translate. And then I realize that doesn't actually look good in this room.
It's really interesting.
Where do I put it?
What do I do with it now? Oh, flipping. Yeah.
So fun. I definitely think everyone should go grab it. It's an amazing course.
I think we all pick a pattern we love because of the color, but it can be hard to pick our own colors. Yeah. And that's another part of the course that I do. I talk about different types of color work techniques and how it's important to choose the right colors for those techniques.
Those methods.
Because that's the other thing, isn't it? Like, not all schemes will work because of the sequence of the colors.
Right.
So yeah, all sorts. Look how big he is already.
He's so big. He's so cute. I didn't realize the end of his tail was white.
Yeah, it's like he's been dipped in a tin of paint.
I love it so much.
I'm going to put you down, but you're going to be noisy, aren't you?
Oh, Caroline says, everything I make is for charity, but it still has to feel right. Which that means, Caroline, that you are putting your heart, like you are making that with love, because you're thinking through how you want to make someone else feel when they receive that. And that's incredible.
And
for
also,
sure.
Like, if you're spending hours and hours making something, it has to make you happy while you're making it.
Yes.
Like, color changes my mood completely. So I have
100%.
colors that make me happy.
100% agree with that.
Definitely.
Saying
something here.
So I'm going to segue here with like kind of color, but not really. We're going to change topics because we had this little mini discussion this week, and it's really been sitting on my mind, Hannah. So I'm going to bring it back in, because sometimes we talk about something and then I think about it and I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that again. So often in crochet or knit, when it comes to making garments, we always talk about sizing. And I know you're a size inclusive designer. I am. Michelle, as a lot of us have really embraced that over the years, where we're going to size something from extra small to 5X. And those are 9 sizes. And in the way a lot of things used to be done, we're like, wow, we can offer 9 sizes now. It's taken a ton of research. I do mine in like an Excel spreadsheet with a ton of math based off the Craft Yarn Council. But we're still always listening for feedback when it comes from, our community, when they're making something like, did it work? Did it not work? How could I do this better next time? And one of the things we've talked about is customizing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the more I've thought about it, I listened to a knitter years ago, and she was talking about how it's not about designers adjusting their pattern to try to fit every single body out there, because that's not possible. You could not design enough modifications in any one, even basic design, for that to tell someone how it's going to work for their body, because only we know our bodies through measurements. And then once you have your measurements and you look at the pattern and where the schematic is of those measurements to see like, okay, how much ease do I prefer? How do I find about like how much ease I prefer? How do I want this to fit me? Where do I know I probably need some shaping? And I do truly think this starts in the dressing room at any department store.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm just going to let the puppy out. Bear with me.
Okay, do it.
Big screen.
Oh, you're going to leave me all by myself? Okay, Hannah. So I'm going to keep talking about this. When I talk about a dressing room, this is something I think that needs to come translate to the crochet and knit world. And that's that if I challenged you to go into TJ Maxx, Target, Walmart, anywhere, and you're going to go find a shirt, a t-shirt or pants, and you're going to pick 10 of those in your size, because we all know that any one brand is not going to be the same across other brands when it comes to sizing. So say you're shopping for a new pair of jeans and you pick out 10 pairs of jeans and you take those to the dressing room. How many of those jeans do you actually purchase from trying on 10? Like, just throw a number out there if you're listening right now. If you were to take 10 items of jeans or t-shirts or dresses into a dressing room that you liked when it was on the hanger, how many out of 10 do you think you would actually purchase? Julia says 1. I'm with you. I am lucky if I get 2, because it's, even though they're all labeled the size that I know is my go-to size, like, okay, this is my size, and that changes, obviously. 0. I love the 0. 0. The dressing room's not kind to us. Lori says none. So this is how frustrating it is for us when we go to a department store to say, 10 pairs of jeans, how many do I think I'm going to be able to take home? I think most of us are lucky if 1 or 2. If you can nail 3 or 4, that is the best day ever. I've rarely done that. It's just not something that happens very often. So taking that to crochet design, when you look at a pattern and you say, okay, I know that like my size is medium, large, 1X, whatever it may be, that's a size that is my go-to size when I go in a dressing room. I'm looking at the bust size. I'm looking at this size. That seems right. We still may have to make some modifications, because not one thing is going to fit everyone within that size. Just like taking 10 pairs of jeans into a dressing room doesn't mean that those 10 pairs of jeans are going to fit us and look amazing every time. And so the expectation of buying a pattern and saying, this is going to fit me perfectly, well, same concept as taking 10 things into a dressing room. We've got the basics there from the Craft Yarn Council, and now we need to make modifications. The cool thing is you can be your own tailor, because I also know you can buy all 10 pairs of those jeans and you can walk yourself to a really good tailor, and that tailor will make those 10 pairs of jeans look good on you.
Yeah.
You're going to try them on, and that tailor is going to say, we'll take this in here. I can let this out here. And a really good tailor can make all 10 pairs of jeans look good. I've done it, not with 10, but I've done tailoring before, and I'm like, wow, like this is something I didn't like wearing before, and now I love wearing it because the tailor made it customized to me. And that's what we have in crochet that's so exciting, is oftentimes we know where our modifications might need to be, and we can try it on as we go. For me lately, just my struggle over the last 2 years has been my hips to thighs. I think that's common for most women. I turned 40, and all those cupcakes were like, oh, I know right where I want to go. And so the size of jeans I was wearing is no longer the size of jeans I'm wearing now. I had to modify that in the dressing room just because our body shapes can change over the years. It's just a matter of fact for life. Let's accept it, love ourselves.
That's
really fun. Oh, is that your bigger dog or your puppy? Still barking. I couldn't. That's not coming from your puppy. No. Okay. So cute. Kids must be walking by after school. Yep. So this Lori says this is why I make my own clothes. And this is what's so true.
Yeah.
Making our own clothes is being our own tailor. So even if I were to make a sweater dress, I know I can come in on my waistline, but I know I'm going to need to add a lot of increases after that.
Yeah.
And then I can go decide after that what I want to do. But to get just lately, I'm just being brutally honest right now, to get around my thighs lately has been a struggle.
So mine is my arms. The tops of my arms have always been out of proportion with the rest of me. So sleeves, in shops, I now avoid certain styles of tops and dresses because of the cut of the sleeve. So anything with a cap sleeve that's then tight doesn't work for me.
Oh.
So normally when I'm designing anything, I have quite generous armholes. But that's because I have that thing, but I do put notes in my patterns of like to customize it, do X,
Yes.
Y, and Z. And like, how
Yes.
amazing is it that you can do that?
Yeah. And it's not as scary and as hard as people think. Like, and you don't always have to take, say you've bought a pattern in the back. I'm not even in the past, not even from me and Hannah, from anybody. I'm talking like this is just general. And maybe there were modification things in there, but like I know like where my points of like dude, I was not blessed in the chest area. So that's was not like that. And I'm fine with my body, but like, dude, I mean, would I love to have more? Sure, but I don't. So I know like on certain things, I'm like, yeah, like the bust isn't gonna it might need to be taking out a few stitches to look a bit more fitted if I want fitted. Of course, then there's oversized, but on any pattern you've ever purchased, you don't even have to wait for a designer to tell you like, hey, you should make modifications because we do a generalized thing because there's so many different bodies that we don't know. Like, do you need more in the chest or less in the chest? Do you need more at the waist or less in the waist? Only you can know that. And then by knowing that, just know like increase or decrease, be brave. Like, it's okay. Like, you're not going to mess it up and you can always undo it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can always undo it, especially with crochet compared to, it's a lot easier to undo crochet, isn't it, than knit? This is really interesting what Laurie said here. Older patterns from 30s and 40s have bigger arm area.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. But I feel like their waists were much smaller.
Yes. Wasn't it like a thing to get your waistline way smaller than?
Definitely more fit. Then they were more fitted in different areas than we do today.
Yes.
So it's just like building that base of knowledge of you and your shape, your size, how you like things to fit on you, where you.
And this is a question I think that I focused on lately because just like Hannah said, she did one thing. She did this amazing blanket course. And then from those questions, she decided to do this color work course to educate more. And for me, that's why in my latest course, which is the Lovely Lace Crochet Along. So it's this sweater I'm wearing. It's free on the blog if you want to join. And it does include the poncho with the VIP experience, which is an upgrade. But when you do the upgrade, if you choose to buy the course, I also include a measurement guide because that's where you have to start is you have to know what your body shape is because oftentimes going by those generic labels from Target or Walmart or wherever else where you're like, I'm a size large, I'm a size that, like this is my size doesn't always work. And we know that from the dressing room. So simply picking that on a pattern may not work, but then it's like, okay, but how do I know what size I want to make? And that is also different for everybody. That is very different for everybody because some people prefer fitted. They're like, I don't want to look like I'm drowning in it is what I've heard people say. I want it fitted. And other people are like, I hate things close to my body. It's a sensory thing for me. I want it loose. I don't want to feel like my clothing is restrictive at all. And that's where you need to know what ease you like. And in this workbook that I put together for this course, you're going to go through those steps and take some measurements. And I'm talking about how to properly take those measurements because we want to make sure we're doing it correctly and appropriately for our bodies so that we know what those are. You can write them down. You can use it on any pattern in the future that you're doing. And then I also talk about like, how do you know what ease you prefer? Like, what is my preferred ease? And we're going to do that by taking your very, very most favorite sweater that when you went into a dressing room and you tried on 20 sweaters and there's one you brought home and that one you love, we're going to take a look at that and we're going to figure out what it is about that sweater's ease that you like to know. I like this much ease. And so when I go look at a pattern and the actual bust is this size, I want to make sure when I'm making it, it is going to hit my ease comfort zone versus just my size.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
It does.
It's all in the workbook.
It makes sense. It does make sense, but it's kind of a process that I feel like talking about it feels quite abstract. But when you physically do it, when you physically measure yourself and write those measurements down and go, okay, this is what I actually am. This is what I feel comfortable wearing. This would be tight. This is negative ease on me. This is, like, write all of your numbers down. And yes.
And then we'll change with style. And like Julia said, just remember to remeasure as our bodies change. Yeah. Yeah. Because Christmas is coming and I'm going to need to remeasure in January. All those goodies are going to happen very soon. Or I'm going to go like to the Epcot Food and Wine, and then I'm going to need to remeasure my body in a month because it may have changed. And you know what? If you're living your best life, who cares? It's totally fine. We can adjust for that in crochet.
Sorry, Ginny.
Oh, we all know what a new puppy's like. It's fine.
But the thing I was going to say about that as well is that for me, my body shape changes on a monthly hormonal basis. Like,
yep.
2 weeks and 2 weeks,
I think everyone can relate.
And I wear different things on those 2 different weeks. So the other thing that I'm now mindful of is I'm making and designing crochet things that fit me for 2 weeks of the month and other things that fit me for the other 2 weeks of the month.
I love it.
Fine, that's fine. Because we all go in ebbs and flows, don't we, of our sizes and shapes throughout the months and the seasons and stuff. But even on a week-to-week basis, like you can feel different. You can feel different and different in what you're wearing and what you're wearing it for. You might want something more with more negative ease if you're dressing up. You know, like there are so many different options. And it starts with knowing your own measurements.
Yes. We just had someone ask if it's too late to join the crochet along. Not at all. And if you happen to be online and you see the abbreviation CAL, that means crochet along.
Yes.
So it's never too late to join. You can definitely still join in. And right now I'm still offering some bonuses and extras that those will go away soon. So if you are going to purchase the upgrade to the VIP experience, now's the time to do it. Even if you can't start it, you'll get those bonuses now that you can use a gift card to my Ravelry shop. You're going to get that measurement guide. I also have a yarn guide to talk more about fibers, because that's the other thing that plays into making your own sweater. And we're not trying to overwhelm you with, as I know we were talking about color theory, now we're talking about yarn fibers, we're talking about sizing guides. These make it easy so that you don't feel overwhelmed, but the result of what you make is something you're actually going to wear and love.
Yes.
Because especially when I was talking about yarn and yarn substitutions, that's always a hot topic in crochet. I have a yarn guide that walks through that, different types of fibers you may or may not enjoy wearing, because there's so many different types of fibers out there. So this is, don't hate me, but I've been the same size for over 30 years.
I've seen that. And then Laurie said, after losing 120 pounds, I struggle with what size I am now. Yeah. That's a massive change, isn't it? To then get yourself accustomed to. And you probably, I don't know about you, but like I've been lots of different sizes in my life. And I feel more comfortable in a certain size wearing certain things and different lengths and all that kind of stuff. So it's fine for it to change, but also it's fine for it not to change.
Exactly.
In fact, I used to work with someone who she was like in her early 60s and she had been exactly the same size. She could still fit in her wedding dress went from her early 20s and like exactly the same. So
good for her.
It's important to know what that size is.
Exactly. You just need to measure and then you're good for a long time. But check, because you never know. It could. There's still time.
Yes. Oh gosh. Someone asked further up, asking about the sweater, and I've had this question an awful lot. Where's it gone? Asking me about the sweater that I'm wearing. I can't find it now. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Is there a pattern for the sweater you're wearing on the cover of your color course? Yes.
Oh, is that the one I know of? Is that the one?
Briana knows about this one. Briana knows about this. So I've given everyone a really exclusive sneak peek to something that Briana, Michelle, and I are coming out with in like 2 weeks' time or something.
Very soon, yeah.
Really soon. It's coming out really soon. It's going to be a part of a crochet along. So keep your eyes peeled. And it's got colour and it's got all of the things that we're talking about today are all applicable in crochet along, aren't they? So sizing, knowing your measurements, making garments, colour.
Yes.
So yes, it will be
so
fun.
This is what I love. So and this is what happens for all of us. Marshall says, I found jeans that have been a blessing in my life. One pair fits multiple sizes, but they look like they were only made for you, called Judy Blues, No Longer Crying in Depressing Rooms. So I'm guessing that has to do with fabric.
Yes.
So that's the other thing is like when you want to make clothes for yourself in crochet, it's also important to choose the right yarn because you may find that a certain style fiber type of yarn is your go-to because of what it does, what its positive attributes are. And then if you can figure out and find like, okay, I know what this is, moving forward, there's going to be no more crying making your crochet clothes because you will know what you need to do to get that perfect look every time.
Yeah.
And I love that. Because yes, I think it was just last week before I was going to lunch with some moms, I stopped in a store and I was like, you know what? I really, really want a new pair of pants. I just wanted like a nice, not jeans, but just, I don't know. I've seen a new style lately and I'll tell you right now, I still don't know. Maybe the style just isn't for my body type. I'm not sure. I thought it could be because I tried to buy some like a few weeks before and didn't. And I was determined. And I think I took four pairs with me in the dressing room and I left without buying any.
Oh, I hate that when that happens.
I know. And I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, is it just the style that I just don't like? Maybe it's just the style. I don't like the look of it on me. Am I not picking the correct sizing before going in the dressing room? Do I need to just maybe stay, like have more time to stay longer and be like, okay, this didn't work here,
Yeah.
but let me try it in this size just to see and like really figure it out. I feel like it's a mystery for me right now, trying to figure out like why these pants don't look good and like if I can buy them. I don't know. I don't know if it's me that's the problem, if it's just like if they're because they tend to be too tight in one area, but then way too much like fabric in another. So it could just be the style of pants I'm trying to buy.
I think it probably is. I've tried on some cropped trousers, like quite smart trousers, fitted trousers the other day, and they that sun in my face. They were really, really tight across my hips. So I think we're a similar shape, but then still way too big on my waist. So it's like, well, they're not the right trousers for me.
That's what's happening. Yes.
And I,
Oh, Carolina says she has a hard time finding a good yarn sub that she can buy in Europe. Talk to Hannah.
oh. I think it's gonna. I generally actually use people that do worldwide delivery anyway. Like I use a lot of We Crochet yarn now.
Yeah.
Hobby have just brought out a really lovely yarn, haven't they? And they have lots of different fiber types now as well, and they're Europe based.
Yes.
And Love Crafts. I use Love Crafts a lot as well.
Me too. All
Yeah,
those, yes.
yeah.
So the other thing I talk about if you do the course, the Lovely Lace course is in the yarn guide, we're going to talk about what makes a good sub. So there is yarnsub.com, which is a great launching point to see like what yarns are similar to this in fiber, in drape, in gauge, but that's not even perfect. And don't be afraid of yarn substitutions. You're just going to need to do a gauge swatch and then check it for several key points to know if it's actually going to work for you. Because there are times where you can take another yarn and you can match the gauge and it does. Like in theory, you're like, I could substitute with this yarn. However, it's going to be too thick or feel different. It's going to feel different. The drape doesn't work. And that sometimes means not necessarily adjusting your gauge, but adjusting your yarn. And so not every yarn is going to work as a yarn sub. And it's important to know which ones are before you go through all that work to find out that, by substituting with this other yarn, you don't actually want to wear it because it's too stiff or it's too loose or something like that.
I think it's always worth getting yarn when you see it and you think, especially if you see it in person. Like
Yes.
Get yarn that you like the feel of, you like the look of, and even if you don't have a specific project plan for it, get just one ball, one skein, whatever, and make some swatches with it just to see how it behaves. And then make your look. I'm writing another course here, aren't I? Write your notes down about what you like about it, what you don't like about it, etc., and then keep that somewhere safe or with the swatch. And then when you are ready to dive in and make a garment with it or with something, then you've got a whole directory, A to Z, of your yarns that you like.
Yes. And I think I'm hungry. I think when next month comes, when you'll see Michelle, Hannah, and I together, I have a feeling that we are going to be talking about yarn subs a lot next month.
Yes, we are.
So keep a lookout because it's going to be amazing. And we have a lot to say and to help you with, to know like if something's going to work or not going to work. And it also depends on what you're making.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, definitely. Rose is asking, the poncho pattern will be available for purchase Ravelry or Etsy. It will be available to purchase in lots of different formats in lots of different places. So yeah, definitely you'll be able to get hold of it.
Yes.
And Caitlin's saying about this is why I only wear leggings. I've yet to find a pair of jeans that fit my body right.
Yoga pants are my favorite.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah. I'm wearing a sweater and I'm wearing like yoga shorts right now.
I love it. I love it.
Let's be honest, it's Florida. It's not actually sweater weather, but I love this so much. I just want to show it off. I'm like, look at my gorgeous sleeve.
Hang on, look how much this show us the sleeve.
Oh my gosh, I love the sleeves.
Amazing.
I feel like I'm gonna walk up to people and be like, look at my sleeve. And like I know like non-crocheters don't get it, like because they're just in department stores all the time. But I'm like, this is so unique because we've never seen sleeves like this in crochet before. It's a knit look sleeve. It's something I've always wanted to do. And I actually released this as a knit sweater years ago. I think 2016, 2017, something like that. And because the little girl that's modeling it is now in like second grade. She was a baby, which is crazy to me. But I had so many messages on that knit sweater. Can you please convert this to crochet? And I'm like, nope, never, not possible. Like that's just not a thing that exists. Those stitches do not exist. I don't think they will ever exist. So sorry, but no. And it haunted me because there's so many things that in knit like stitch books. I'm like, oh, if I could just do that with a crochet hook, that would be amazing. And so it's been so fun that now I can like, I did a mimic in crochet and I'm so proud of it. Just because I didn't think it was possible. I love when you prove yourself wrong.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? I remember the day, like it's months ago now, is it? You sent me a picture of the swatch going, I worked it out. I worked it out. I did it.
I had to tell a yarn friend and I knew you would appreciate it.
It's a bit like, you know, like me telling my husband about, you know, the thing.
Oh, I'm sure I showed my husband the swatch and he was kind of like, oh, okay. You worked, what did you work out? And I'm like, that, oh my God.
But my husband came back to me when I was like, why do you not think this is amazing? He was like, but everything you make is amazing. I don't know, you know, I'm like, yeah, right, whatever.
Only our yarn friends get it.
Here we are. This person said, I bought some yarn from Hobby that looked beautiful, colour was amazing, but was disappointed in the texture. And that is one of the downfalls of ordering online, isn't it? That if you can't feel it and see it, it is a gamble. It is a gamble until it arrives. So yeah.
But what you can do is still hang on to it because you may find a design at some point that texture does a really awesome thing for something else.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Can you hear? He's got a packet. That's the rustling that you can hear.
So cute. He's happy.
He's fine. He's fine. But yeah, I have to go collect Elliot and it must be, is it lunchtime now?
It is lunchtime. I hear my family is home today. I hear them rustling around in the fridge too. And I'm like, I hope they find something good because I'm really hungry.
Cool. So let me put the links once again in the chat for everyone.
Oh, thank you.
Come and join us and how much longer is left on the crochet along? You've got the second part's launched, hasn't it? So 2.
Just yesterday. Yep. The second part launched yesterday, and then I'll launch the final part next week. But once again, with Hannah's stuff, my stuff, we do not like stress.
No.
We do not like deadlines. No. So you can join in. Like if you want to purchase this, but you're like, I've already got so much going on the next couple of months, school, holidays, whatever, I could start in January. Grab it because the price will go up and the Ravelry bonus will go away. However, grab it and then you can do it later and still have the community support. I'm not going anywhere. And you can always ask questions in our community group and make it on your pace and your time. That's what we love doing is like, crochet should be self-care, not stress care.
Definitely. And the same, so with my course at the moment, there's a little widget above where you can buy it that if you subscribe, you get an extra amount of money off, and that will be the cheapest you will ever get it. This is so if you want it, then now
do it now for sure.
No.
And it's so worth it. Just taking the time to learn this information in a very easy way. It's not overwhelming. then when you go to tackle that next project, you'll tackle it with confidence and then you'll love it more. And that's really what it's about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Everything we do is to empower everyone, to give you the confidence to progress, isn't it, really? And not be frustrated and not be wound up by it all.
For sure.
Let me show you that just before we go. Dawn has said, thank you for creating a beautiful design.
Oh, that means a ton. Aw.
Oh,
That's so nice. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's like, it's just everyone in this community is so kind. It's what keeps us going. That's like fuel for the day.
Yeah, that will do the afternoon for you.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Well, it was so lovely chatting again, Hannah. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone have a wonderful, what day is it? Is it Friday?
Friday. It's the weekend soon.
Yay. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. And we will be with you very soon after your crochet along is finished, Briana, isn't it? We are launching our next big event. So we will see you there.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.